What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a wonderful day. My name is Jeffrey Peterson, aka Tycoon, aka Guilty Pleasures. I'm making this video in remembrance of my brother, my partner in rhyme, none other than SHOCKG, aka Shock Jesus, aka Humpty Hump, the original big nose rapper. So the reason I'm doing this is because I want Shock to be remembered in a positive light. People have been touching on the Tupac thing and the Humpty Hump thing when he was so much more than that. So I just want to give you a little bit of information about my friend, about what kind of guy he was, a little bit of more facts about the music stuff that he did, because it's not only Humpty and Tupac. There's so much more. So without any further ado, I'll get right into it. I'll tell you how I met him. Very random story. I met him in downtown Los Angeles. I'm a hip hop artist. I had just gotten done selling CDs on the street for the day. I was coming up out of my parking garage. The parking garage, you walk up and you walk up out and you get out on the street. When I came out on the street, Shock was standing there waiting for a light to turn, and I saw him. I had CDs on me. I said, oh shit, I'm gonna go holler at him. I'm gonna go say, what's up? I said, Shock G? Yeah, what's up? I said, my name is Guilty Pleasures. Nice to meet you, blah, 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 blah. I'd love to work with you. You know how the conversation goes. Anyways, gave him some music and asked him if I could keep in contact with him and get some feedback. We ended up exchanging information and would just talk on and off here and there. And funny enough, I don't know how it happened, but I must have gotten in the top of his call registry. So how our relationship kind of developed, Shock is kind of a party animal. I think most people know that who have been around him. So what he would do, he'd call me when he was partying, and he'd tell me what he was doing, and he'd tell me what was going on in his life, and we kind of would have these conversations, right? And eventually, he knew that I wanted to work on music and stuff, and eventually he ended up asking for my email, and sends me a track with a verse open on it. So that's how we got our song done, right? Of course, I knocked it out same day. Awesome. So with that being said, Shock was the kind of guy that would give someone a shot. And he's worked with everybody in the game. Oh, that's one thing I wanted to mention was about the production stuff. This guy's one of the only hip hop artists to work with Prince. He produced for Prince, produced for Dr. Dre, produced for Mac Mall, KRS-One, Tupac, Too Short, the Loonies. He did a lot of the stuff on the Loonies' first album. Murs is an amazing hip hop artist. And that's just to name a few. Do your research, you can look it up. Yeah, man, this guy's super creative. And as far as the Humpty thing goes, he was very proud of Humpty. Humpty was a double-edged sword. He had a love-hate thing for Humpty because he was pigeonholed to Humpty. Everybody knew him as Humpty. They didn't acknowledge Shock G as much, okay? But one thing that he was very proud about with Humpty was he tricked not only the industry, but the world into thinking that Humpty Hump and Shock G were two different people. So this way of thinking, he was a real illusionist. And that's very amazing when you can kind of manipulate the world in this kind of way. It's a very creative way of thinking. Digital Underground used to call themselves the Sons of the P. That comes from P-Funk, Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton's group. So if you know anything about George Clinton's group, there's P-Funk mythology. There's a character called, so in the mythology, there's a whole world, there's a whole story, right? That's made up by George. There's a character called Sir Nose. Sir Nose doesn't dance. And they have this character on stage when Parliament performs. And it's always George's goal to get Sir Nose to dance. Dance is a metaphor for kind of being a square, for being uptight, and not being loose, not being a free spirit, not going with the flow, right? So Shock was a big student of George Clinton's. So this Sir Nose character could have possibly influenced Humpty Hump, right? They're both with the nose, right? Whatever. But the point is, the world of the mythology was an influence from George Clinton. And also all of the Digital Underground covers that were animated, hand-drawn, Shock drew all of those covers too. So I'm just giving you guys some fun facts, letting you know a little bit more about the man. He wasn't just Humpty and Tupac, so much more, so much more. But yeah. Oh, a lot of people have been asking why he was in Tampa. His parents and his family are in Tampa, and that's why he was there. He left LA a couple years ago. He was kind of sick of being around the fake stuff and just wanted to get something new and fresh. So that's why he was down there. We had been keeping in contact on and off. And yeah, I mean, dude is a party animal. And I'm sure that was what was going on this terrible night. And that's not to put him on blast or anything, but everybody's saying that they don't know what happened, but you know, put two and two together. That being said, he was an awesome, awesome guy. You know, he gave me a shot, and most people aren't willing to do that in the music industry. It's very difficult to collaborate with people and to get people who are in the game to give somebody who's, you know, a lesser known artist than them to really, for them to give you their time and their effort. So I really, really always appreciated that about him. And like I said, he would call me and have conversations with me, tell me Tupac stories. Really, he would tell me these Tupac stories, and I was more interested in hearing about him. But I think that when he was working with an artist, they always thought that they'd be the next Tupac or something like that. So they were, you know, they'd try to use that energy. But I was interested in his creativity because the guy was super, super creative and had a way of looking at things that were just different. You know, he'd see things with more colors and just a different angle than what the average bear would be seeing it as. So yeah, very, very creative guy, magical thinker, super talented on the keys. He was in Tampa working on a jazz album, piano jazz album. So there's probably gonna be some tracks coming out on that. I don't know how much of it he recorded. He didn't really tell me too much if he was getting in the studio, but I knew that it was an idea of his. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm gonna put a video of him coaching me right now, so stay tuned for that. One of our phone conversations, I'll show you how he used to call me and tell me what to do. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. A link to our track is down below. And other than that, remember our guy in a positive light. He was a very, very cool dude. I'm sure everyone will tell you that. And yeah, man, super talented musician, super cool dude, and more than just Humpty Hump and Tupac. Okay, thank you for watching. Peace and love.
Oh, yo, Guilty, this is what I'm talking about. Everyone's welcome, no, the police, nah, they ain't looking for you. I started. I started with the Annie Mob from the beginning, and then, you know what I mean, with that little breathe. Listen to all the hot shit. Listen to Drake's album or anybody now. It's always a lot of airy, psychedelic. I love being there for the both of us. space. You trust me. I know you've been through more than most of us. Whatever. Everything has space now. You know what I mean? All right, fuck with it.